2016. He campaigned against Duterte. Huwag niyong iboto yan, mamamatay tao yan. In a few months, naging pro-Duterte na siya dahil inoperan siya. Ibig sabihin, yung kanyang personal convictions, yung kanyang foundation, ay from the very start ay manipis or non-existent. What you see is the shape, the form, without the substance of a progressive ethos. No? Unlike halimbawa, katulad nila Risa, nila Kakabag-aw, nila Barry Gutierrez, di ba? Yung kanilang buong buhay ay may substance, di ba? Ibang usapin kung yun yung problema with the Harry Roque. So, kinakailangan yan yung ating kaban. Diyan tayo kumuha. Wala pa rin tayong shortcut Richard. Kailangan kumuha tayo sa progressive movement. Di ba? Kailangan alagaan natin yung ating mga kasama sa progressive movement dahil hindi sila ganun karami. Pero meron tayong makukuha. Meron pa niyan eh. Meron tayong kapital diyan kahit papano. Diyan tayo kumuha ng mga investment for the future. At yan ang gamitin natin para magparami. No? Yun ang sinasabi ko, para magparami.
Okay, on that note, thank you very much. Baka magising na si Harry Roque. So, but obviously, I mean, I was looking at him as an unfortunate reflection of a deeper problem I saw with a lot of folks who went up the ranks, pero instead of being there for the rest who are still left behind, ang inisip nila, paano sila andun na. Parang, I heard some, kasi di ba, ang idea natin is the middle class could be the engines of democratization, and yet we see many people rising to the ranks from the middle class, and the next thing you know, mas maras pa sa mga oligarchs, di ba? Mas feeling pang, mas Karen pa, di ba? So, unfortunately, there's that subculture among the Filipino middle class that I think we really have to deal.
Hindi ko makalimutan, Richard, yung sinabi ni Heidi Yorak dati. It's a half joke. Sabi niya, lahat ng problema ng Pilipinas ay nagsimula sa UP Law School.
I won't go that far. I mean,
Heidi Yorak yan. Dahil marami daw sa enablers ng mga abogado, ng mga politiko ay even Marcos, no? Even the Ferdinand, nanggaling yan sa UP Law School. No?
Let's just say ang UP, hindi lang law school lang magaling gumawa ng mga operators. I think we have a very well spread profile of operators coming out of the University of the Philippines. But if that's gonna get UST Ateneo Lasal off the hook, then let it be. Thank you very much, Sir Ronald Llamas. Pag-usapan naman natin sa next episode, paborito mong pastor, and then of course, Sara All. Sara No More Uniteam All. Thank you, Sir Ronald. Okay, guys, ito na. Inaaresto na si Kibuloy, na water cannon pa yung mag-arrest sa kanya. I wonder anong mangyari kung si Bantag naman or si Teves, baka naman may sariling silang drama doon. So, it's gonna be an interesting time. But Sir Ronald,
Di mo napapansin, pare-pareho sila ng lawyers?
wala akong sinasabi. Wala ka rin sinasabi. My bad, Ronald. I didn't know. Kaya nga sabi ko,
sabi pa ni Harry Roque, tinawag ko kasi yung grupo ni Kibuloy as a cult. Sabi niya illegal daw yung aking pagtawag ng cult, no? Munti ko na sabihin na wala siya naputol siya. Hindi ko alam kung sinadya niya yung pagkawala niya during the interview. Sasabihin ko sana, then file a case against me. Kung illegal yung pagtawag ko kay Kibuloy, yung grupo niya as a cult, illegal daw yon.
Hello.
No?
Hello. Hello.
Tapos, sasagutin ko sana, then file a case against what the illegal thing I said. Kaso nawala siya.
Wala, hindi na ubra yung mga ganyan na ek nila. Sir Ronald, pag-usapan natin ito. Obviously, if you are Sara and you're Digong, medyo matatakot ka in the sense of finally there's some movement. Hindi ko alam kay Kuting, pero mukhang tumatapang si Kuting. Diba? This is what you and I have been saying. If you look at it, yung statement niya sa PMA, sa Philippine Air Force, and then most recently, ito na, openly, the PNP is already talking about destabilization. Everything we have been talking about for the past 2 years, diba?
More than a year. 1.5 years.
More than a year, exactly. So, in your opinion, this has something to do, right? I mean, magpapanik talaga sila. So you can, so actually, parang dress rehearsal na ito dun sa potentially mangyari sa kanila, especially kay Digong, di ba? In the coming months, if things stand as they are.
Yes, kaya nga itong latest statement ni Sara na the unity team has been dead after the election is very revealing, 'di ba? Dahil ang sinasabi nila may unity team pa eh, no? Si BBM trying to maintain the semblance of unity, yung presidente ng Partido Federal, which was supposed to be the ruling party, ang sabi niya ay meron pang unity team, ang nawala lang ay yung agreement. Hindi ko maintindihan ano yung ibig sabihin niya. Sinasabi niya, yung kasunduan ang nawala. We need a new contract. Ano yung contract na yon? Anong laman ng contract? Pero yung unit team still remains.
Talent,
Yan yung
talent,
sabi niya a month
talent
ago.
manager pala to mga to eh. Talent manager.
Oh, a
Parang
month
love
ago,
team
yun ang
pala to.
sabi nung
Showbiz, Mr.
governor,
Ronald. Parang love
yung
team. Kailangan ng
presidente.
kontrata yan. Oo, parang si Kim Chiat
Yes, yes, sinasabi
yan.
niya.
Parang si ano.
Hindi
Oo.
ko mas honest si Vice President Sara. Sabi niya, the unit team ended when we won. No? Kaya sabi niya,
Pang
when
elections
we
lang
were no
naman talaga
longer a
yon.
candidate,
It was just
dahil
for elections. Yeah.
wala naman talaga silang plataforma, wala naman silang principles, wala naman silang vision, di ba? There's nothing there. So, in a way, mas honest siya about the cynicism of the unity. It was really a very cynical arrangement
A tactical
between two
alliance.
dynasties,
Yeah.
between two families to win. No? At in no uncertain terms, sinabi ni Vice President Sara, it ended after the election.
So, well, I mean, I appreciate her honesty na tactical alliance lang naman talaga itong unit team. So, kudos to Vice President Sara Duterte. But obviously, we're seeing moves in the lower house to push Sara getting kicked out as Secretary of Education, among others. I mean, may mga kaibigan tayo dyan or thinking, wait, bakit siya Secretary of Education? Ano ulit ang ambag niya? Ano ulit yung expertise niya? And then now, obviously, she's saying openly na wala na yung unit team na yan in a retrospective sense. Do you think maybe Sara has already given what the other side was looking for to get the ball rolling? In a sense, for a long time, kasi Sara by feeding the illusion of unit team was trying to postpone what you could say was the inevitable, di ba? But now, do you think this will be the opening for the other side to, I don't know, get her out of the administration and then pave the way na for crackdown on Digong and maybe Sara herself? Do you think this is the clincher? This is the turning point?
Yes, because in just a little over 10 months, meron ka ng midterm election. In 4 months, filing of candidacy na. Diba? So, klaro pagdating ng midterms, klaro sa filing of candidacy, no? Officially, the lines will be drawn. Itong nakaraang taon, the lines have been drawn but not officially. Sa filing of candidacy, I'm almost sure there will be a Duterte slate and a Marcos slate. So malalagay na sa spot si Sara. Sino ba susuportahan niya? The administration slate na siya ay obligadong suportahan dahil part siya ng official family as the secretary of the biggest department in government, or pupunta siya doon sa kanyang natural base, yung kanyang pamilya, to lead the new opposition, to lead the anti-Marcos slate. Hindi na siya pwedeng manatili sa gitna. Whether dumating yung ICC o hindi, nang sinasabi ni Senator Trillanes, darating. Pero whether dumating o hindi, no, the lines will be formally drawn during the filing of candidacy. Because there will now be a Marcos slate and a Duterte slate na maglalaban sa midterms. So nasaan dyan ngayon yung Secretary ng Education? Nasaan ngayon dyan yung Vice President? Hindi na siya pwedeng nasa gitna. So yung kanyang moves ngayon, yung hindi niya pagdalo sa Independence Day rally, yung hindi niya paggamit ng hymn at saka ng oath to the flag, at yung kanyang statement na unity team ended after the elections, ito ay tingin ko indicative nung kanyang more or less final positioning vis-a-vis the government.
Yeah, I think this is it na.
Na matagal na natin sinasabi.
Matagal na natin sinasabi, of course, the disagreement we had, hindi naman disagreement, but in the sense that I was saying maybe they can still keep.
Nuancing yun,
Yeah,
hindi yun
yeah. No,
disagreement.
yeah. It's just different shades. Sabi ko, they can still drag it on for quite some time. Ikaw naman, I think you were a little bit more optimistic na hindi ganun katalino yung mga to be able to kabuki this all the way, right? So here we are, very, very interesting times. And your sense is also BBM is getting much more robust and all of that. I don't know if you have seen it. Ang best performing vlog natin ay papunta na sa 100,000 views nito. Yung from prodigal son to great statesman ek natin kay BBM. Ang dami na-comment. I don't know if this is organic or not. Mga organic naman yung mga nag-respond doon. So, are we being in retrospect, do you think we have been
Kasi
unfair
yung
to BBM?
mataas din yung ating podcast about Risa.
Oh, that one is a bestseller on all platforms. Pero ito, biglang big time siya on YouTube. And I was like expecting, and ang daming comments, 1,000 comments, I don't know. And so, do you think in retrospect, maybe Marcos will be vindicated? The reason I say it is, obviously you and I, we follow what's happening in Europe very closely. So as soon as the European election results came out at wasak yung center left, SPD in Germany and Greens, and bugbog sarado yung grupo ni Macron. Macron called for new elections, which everyone thought is totally crazy. But may sinabi si Macron something like, journalists never understand parang the complexity of my thought. Parang in short, hindi kaya kasing talino ko. Salita kayo ng salita. Just trust in me. I'm gonna pull this off. Do you think Digong may have that moment? And I'm skeptical about Macron's case, but maybe vindicated also in the sense that say, oh, lahat kayo sinasabing kuting ako, ganyan ako. But that's the point. That was the subterfuge. I'm a wolf in the sheep's clothing. I mean, like, is this it? Or it's just that the Dutertes are just so incompetent and like just shooting themselves in the foot.
Una kasi Richard, hindi na pwedeng i-maintain ni BBM yung semblance of unity. Diba? Dahil magkakaroon na ng dalawang separate slate. Hindi na niya ma-maintain yun. No? Ikalawa, kung sakaling papasok yung elephant in the room, lalo nang hindi. Diba? Lalo nang hindi. At ikatlo, mukhang yung kanyang claim about destabilization ay very serious na from his vantage point. Paano? Yung kanyang chief of staff, sinabi na yan last year. Tayo, sinabi na yan natin for more than a year. No? Pero ayaw pa rin niyang tanggapin. Ngayon, ang kanyang lahat ng kanyang speeches, always about destabilization. Ibig sabihin, siniseryoso na niya. Kung siniseryoso na niya yan, sino ba yung nagde-destabilize? Not me. I presume, hindi rin ikaw. So, sino yung ibang nagde-destabilize? Di ba? Di ba? So, malinaw naman kung sino yung kanyang sinisisi dito sa destabilization. So,
hindi natin sinasabi mga Duterte yan, pero he knows better than us, Sir Ronald Llamas. I just want to add something before we go to the final part of our discussion because I want to talk about the real opposition. Kamusta naman sila? Again, para naman hindi tayo akusa na nag-apply na naman tayo sa Malacanang. Excuse me, I'm too busy for that. Si Ronald naman yan. Si Ronald is a swashbuckling mercenary. You can't afford him. Mataas ang freelancing ito. Sir Ronald, are you worried that if the Dutertes go down, which is more than 50% chance suddenly, that Marcos might go all the way in a sense of, let's go for gold, let's change the constitution, diba? I mean, if they do very well in the 2025 at wawasakin nila yung kabila, hindi ka na nababahala na baka yung wolf in sheep's clothing na yan ay maging wolf in wolf's clothing, or baka naman sheep in sheep's clothing talaga to. I'm sorry,
Hindi ako magugulat na merong significant elements within the Marcos camp na gustong i-push yung limits na yan, lalo na pag nawala yung mga Duterte. Pero, I doubt kung yan ay, may dalawang problema yan eh. Una, the Senate. You will have a new Senate in the midterms. Bakit naman papayag yung new Senate na baguhin yung rules of the game? Di ba? Kakaupo pa lang nila. Ang kailangan mo 3/4. So I doubt if it will pass the muster of the Senate. No? Yun yung problema. Ikalawa, international. Ang ganda na ng kanyang image sa international eh. Gusto ba niyang mabago pa yan? No? Maganda na yung kanyang standing sa international eh. No? And partly because kinukumpara siya kay Digong. and partly because of standing up to China, which is a dictatorship. Tapos, magke-create ka ng isang political project na medyo gray yung kanyang color vis-a-vis democracy. Baka tamaan siya. No? Maliban pa dun sa mahihirapan niyang pumasa sa Senado, tingin ko ipe-preserve ni BBM yung na-establish na niya na rebranding ng kanyang pangalan sa international scene. So yun yung kwan. Pero I'm almost sure may magtutulak. May magtutulak na yung limit.
I actually agree with you, and I think again baka yung ano natin, mga kasing solid north, mga ka-solid north natin magalit na naman kayo sa akin yung term ko daw na prodigal son, hindi never daw siya prodigal son. Sabi ko basahin niyo yung sinusulat ng sarili niyang tatay. But anyway, going back to BBM, and for me the most important thing is BBM doesn't want things to be hard for his sons, right? He has gone through a lot, and I think one of his best decisions. I think he's a very good father. We can have a lot of discussion. I think he's a very good father. I think he cares that his sons will not have the kind of stigma and isolation and everything that he had to suffer because of his father's megalomania. And he has a wife.
Kaya natatawag tayong pro-BBM eh.
Ayan na naman tayo. Sige, cut nyo na tong part na to, tapos i-slice na yung kabila. No, I mean, this is rational. This is smart. And I think First Lady perhaps is also, a kind of a big inspiration for this thing. Kasi mom siya, matalino siya. And speaking of the Senate President, hindi mo sinagot eh. What was that thing with Cheese Uscadera na gobble up? Like, what was that?
Ayoko na magbigay ng pandon. Dun sa ganung klase. No? Maraming angulo ron eh. Maraming angulo. May nagsasabi, just putting the Senate President in his place. Na we created you. Parang may ganung klase na dating. No? Pwede naman na baka nung pagdating ng First Lady ron, medyo marami na siyang nainom. No, medyo marami na siyang nainom. Pwede, may ganung klase ring
manifest. Pero Sir Ronald,
no?
the two are not mutually exclusive. It's very possible. Both happen at the same time, right? Si Cheese.
Pero hindi ko na papatulan. Kaya nga nung na-raise mo yan, nag-smile na lang ako eh.
Oo nga, Sir Ronald, you never do that to me. Kahit 1 a.m. na dito, sabi ko hindi ko lalampasan ito. Babalikan ko yan sa episode 4. Alright. Okay, thank you very much, Sir Ronald. Let's go to our last episode. Pag-usapan naman natin dito yung totoong opposition kasi sasabihin na naman nag-apply na naman tayo sa Lawag City Council or salamat, sir. Thank you very much. Ayan na guys. Let me just say I was very disappointed with Ronald Alden Llamas for not making battle to my Marites about First Lady going like that kay Jesus Escudero. Sir Ronald, what happened? You were a hard-hitting guy. Love na love mo si Cheese. So what happened there?
Nakita ko yung trap. There was a trap door.
si Ronald, wala akong narinig.
Yung si Richard, sineset up ako. Trabaho ko yun eh. Trabaho ko mag-set up. Tapos gagawin sa akin.
Sir Ronald, sabi nga ni Oscar Wilde, only friends stab you in the front. True friends stab you in the front. Pero yung kalaban sa likod, at least ako, harap-harap.
Kakabili ko lang ng libro niya kahapon eh. Collection ng kanyang mga writings kahapon sa book sale.
He's the best. I love that guy. Sobrang nakakatuwa siya. Bago pagtatawanan ng tao yung kulang ng pagsusuklay ko dito. Eto na, pag-usapan natin ng opposition. Kasing gulo ba ng opposition ng buhok ko ngayon or medyo may pag-asa na sila? What's happening with the real opposition, Sir Ronald?
Well, kung titignan mo yung mga survey, medyo malayo yung opposition candidates, di ba? Medyo malayo. Pero kung titignan mo rin yung mga nasa loob ng Magic 12, they're not also doing too well. Lalo na yung mga nasa
number
last
5 onwards. From 5 onwards.
Yung nasa last 4. Ibig sabihin, pwede silang maabot. Pwede silang malampasan with the right strategy. For lack of a better example, parang yung ginawa ni Pinoy when he first ran for the Senate. No? Kundi siya number 18, 19, 20. Nung nagkaroon siya ng magandang narrative, nagkaroon siya ng magandang ad, yung lagot ako sa nanay ko, nagbigla siyang tumaas sa number 4, number 5. Dahil malaking bahagi ng Senate race is air war. It's about a narrative. It's about a brand. It's about a peg. No? Kaya hindi ko sasabihin na hopeless yung opposition, the real opposition, kahit malayo sila sa survey. No? At medyo nagsisimula na sila mag-scale up. Siguro hindi naman dahil narinig nila yung ating mga criticisms before, no? Nagsisimula na sila mag-scale up. Nakikita mo na si Bam all over the place. Negotiating with Gwen Garcia, appearing in ANC, appearing in TV5, no? Nakikita mo si Kiko Pangilinan having a TV program in TV5 together with separate with Amy Marcos, at mas maganda yung reviews ng kanyang TV program compared kay Amy, no? Kaya nakikita mo may simulang scaling up. Pare-pareha silang may radio program sa DZRH. Si Chel Jokno humaharap sa hearing sa House about EJK. So nagsisimula na sila mag-scaling up kumpara nung past 2 years na medyo natahimik sila basically. So tingin ko ay hindi naman doom yung campaign nila. Dahil sabi ko nga, kung makaka-create sila ng magandang peg, narrative at brand in so short a time, baka makahabol. Lalo na yung last 4 dun sa Magic 12 are not that unreachable.
Oo.
No?
Ang baba kasi ng threshold Medyo malayo yung iba, pero yung iba, konti na lang pwede mo silang abutan. So don't be fooled by the ranking. Ang abot mo dyan yung minimum threshold.
Yes. Ang mahirap, yung top 5. No? Yun yung mahirap ng abutan.
At mukhang may 2 Tulfo pa doon. Erwin versus Ben. So grabe to. I mean, but anything
it's about a brand.
Yeah, grabe.
It's about a brand.
The brand. Going back to this, what are the things na I think you already talked about the things that encourage you. What are the things na feeling mo medyo kulang na? And I wanna go back to this kasi we had the Indian elections the other week, no? And Rahul Gandhi, who everyone made fun of before, na ito ay conyotic, half Italian, Cambridge boy, party boy, mga ganun. Like all of those things were thrown